All right, hooked up.
Action.
Action. What's happening, everyone? Joey Antonelli here, and I haven't done it in a while, so we're gonna go with a lifelong skill that could really help your fishing game improve. You know, I'm a live bait guy, and we got cast nets going on. Now, it's no secret I love the Saltex products, and the Saltex brand new cast net is no different. I'm throwing the 12-footer. This is the Saltex 12-foot 3/8 mesh. I'm pretty sure it's 1.5 pounds per foot. So that means 12 foot is the radius. So the diameter opens up to a 24-foot across circle. This is the net right here. Big old cast net. I do the triple load technique. So the way that goes, we're gonna go find the bait and actually catch bait too. This ain't a catching grasshoppers in the grass video. Coil up the line. There is no right way. It's whatever you're most comfortable with. I got the line coiled up in one hand. This plastic part's called the horn. Next, I'm loosely holding the horn because I want this to be able to go down as I stretch the net out. Get the weight of the lead so you can kind of stretch the net out. You got that in one hand. Come down another couple feet, same hand. And then I go right about waist height for the third. Now everything's in one hand. Now I'm gonna go down from the thumb, grab right around here, and it becomes a repetition thing. The more you do it, the easier it gets. A quick little whip out, grab that, goes under your forearm, up over your shoulder. That looks super simple, confuses the crap out of people when they're learning. So practice that move. Now, coming from the front of the net, I'd go over my elbow, and we're just doing that same little spider technique, or spider web it over, and I split it in half. After I split it in half, I drop it on my knee to keep it separated. I go about waist height again, pinky on the net, leaves 4 fingers open to grab here. Now I got about a foot of pendulumness going on right here. The last thing you're gonna let go is this pinky. This pinky's just gonna set the net down right at my feet. Now we got Captain Rye on the camera. He's gonna put us on some bait. And then I'm gonna go ahead and let it rip. So Rye's gonna stop that and get us some bait. All right, real speed net load. When you're catching bait, you really want to be able to do this as fast as possible. And the advantage of throwing the 12-footer, I don't like throwing it all day. I throw a 12-footer because I like to be one and done. It looks like we're kind of drifting into him right now. A little harder because Ryan's not driving and doing this. Should I just let it rip?
Flash right there. Yeah, they're out. Throw it out.
They're on this side too. I do a little spin, hold that pinky. Last thing you let go is the pinky, and that should be more than enough bait we need for the day.
You gotta get a monkey's paw.
Oh gosh. Come over here, Rye. Actually, I'm gonna let it go under the boat and go to the other side. Normally we don't have these issues because we're driving, but Ryan's abandoned his post to help me film. We're blowing right over the net too. Another thing I like to do is empty out what you don't need. Kind of open the net a good little ways. And we'll cinch it back up a little bit. There we go. That should be enough. More than enough for what we're doing. Way more than enough. Just a couple. All right, we can't let them go to waste. So we're just going down to the beach. This ain't just a cast net video. These are thread fins. We're gonna go take them to use. And the way you can tell from a thread fin is that fin right there. Different than a pilchard, they got that long thread fin. So we're tossing back what we're not using. I brought the live well because we're not fishing in the boat. We're gonna take these, load them up in the truck, and go hit the beach. Let's go do it.
Let's hit the beach and catch some fish. I got the live well up in the truck. I brought a bucket down with a few baits in it, but a big storm was building. So we ended up scrubbing the whole mission, coming back down a little bit later in the day. But I'll show you what we're working with here anyways. first thing I'm gonna do is take my regular hat off, put the action hat on my head. That's a hat that holds the camera. And I'm gonna grab my rod. I have a 2.0 J-hook, 30-pound Tsunami fluorocarbon, and a lot of people ask me about the weight. I do use pinch weights and I freeline. It depends. Just move the weight around, change the size. One is not going to be the right answer every day. You got to figure out what's working best with your bait and the conditions for that day.
A little bit later now in the afternoon. Looked like it was gonna storm, but now we got the sun peeking out. And we got the Salt X 4000 paired up with the Salt X Inshore Series rod. This is, I think, the biggest inshore. It's the 7.7 heavy action. As far as heavy action goes, that's like a heavy action inshore. It's not like a cobia or dolphin rod, but it's a beefy inshore rod or great beach rod for snook, and that's what we're gonna be looking for. I just got 30-pound Tsunami fluorocarbon, little J-hook. We're gonna take those baits that we netted a little bit earlier and get them out and fish that trough. You see we got a real calm, clean beach. Let's get it out there and get going. That water looks good. Get them back out there. Now, something that's really helpful when you're doing this type of fishing, I mean, I usually just walk my bait down the beach, but if you're trying to look for where you think they might be and you can't physically see the fish, now, I don't know if you can tell, I got these polarized glasses on my RCIs, but right there, there's sand like getting sucked out right there and there, where over here, not so much. So that's like kind of like a blowout. You always got to be on the lookout for the blowout because it's an area that's going to suck bait fish and other stuff out there. And a lot of times the predator fish will be kind of posted up on the outside waiting for a bait fish or something to come through, a little disoriented maybe, and I tend to like to fish around that sort of thing. Same thing pompano fishing, it's like the cuts. So as the water flows out, gives you a good ambush spot for predators. But really, I just kind of keep walking with it. Now, there's some kind of bait fish down there. I don't know what that was. I saw something though. There he is. There he is. Running down the trough. All the way down the trough. Woo! All right, hooked up. Right there. Nice snook on those baits from the river. Looks like a good size one too. Come on, snooky. That's what we're looking for. Fresh live bait, nice and lively, fishing it just in that shallow zone right out there. On the 4000 Salt X with the Salt X Inshore Series rod. And we don't know where he's hooked, so we're gonna play him real light. Oh, that's a good fish, that's a good fish. Oh man, look at him out there. Burning that drag. And a lot of times you'll see in the beginning, this fish hit and stayed in the trough the whole time. It hit and actually ran in, so I felt the thump. Turned the camera on, came tight on it, and just basically reeled as fast as I can. And now it's a game of playing him out. Woo! In the surf. Waves sucking him out, waves pushing him in. It's real easy to pull too hard, and I only got 30-pound fluoro on there. If he's hooked good in the corner, you can pull hard. But if he's hooked a little further in the mouth, they can fray off that 30 real quick. I gotta keep a snook. Keep a. Surf him right up the beach. Keeper snook all day. Right there. Look at that guy right there. Beautiful keeper snook. Hooked her right in the corner. Beautiful keeper snook. Thread fin with the Salt X. Time to do the photo shoot.
Nice.
What do you got there, JoJo?
Nice.
Marin, you want to sit down?
Nice. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, now he's scared.
Marin, you're scaring JoJo.
Nice,
What does it taste like, Jojo? What does it taste like? We
Holding,
got the same picture when I was little.
holding you mean?
Yeah, I think he's holding me in his left and the fish in his right. That's Jojo's. Jojo's witnessing his first snook on the beach. Which is pretty funny because I think we got the same photo. Down like that, I think it's the way my dad did it. Give him a kiss. Mwah.
Yay!
So there's a good chance this is gonna be my last one of the season. So we are keeping it. First thing we're gonna do is bleed it, get all the blood out of it, and then go get it up in a cooler on some ice after I put it in my little beach cooler. He's gonna be bleeding a lot now. Cooler's up at the truck. So we're gonna do this to keep the sun off the fish while I fish for a little bit longer. Got a nice hole. Head goes down towards the bottom so he can continue to be bled out. Tip of the tail sticks out. There you go. So there's our snook. We're gonna go ahead, pull him out, go get him up on ice, but I wanted to show you how simple this type of fishing is. I got my bucket that had the bait. I only used 2 baits. It was a really quick day, but I wanted to go over the gear and how I got everything set up. It's simple. I do less is more for sure when it comes to beach fishing. Now, sure, going out in the river takes a little bit of effort catching bait, but that's where I knew bait was, and I wanted to make sure I had bait and could go fishing. But the clothing, I use the Bimini Bay hoodies. It's got a built-in gator, really protects you. I recently did a video with them talking about skin cancer and stuff, and I mean, these type of clothing it's an awesome way to prevent that. I have links in the description to these shirts, and I love them. The built-in hood, built-in gator. Backpack is the Saltex backpack. It's got the built-in rod holder. I got the rod on there, Saltex, everything, from the cast net all the way to the clothing I'm wearing, Bimini Bay clothing. Well, let's get that snook out. Go practice your cast netting, throw it in the yard, do a couple throws. When you get tired, stop and practice up again once you get some energy back up. But we're gonna load this snook in the bucket, go get him on ice, and get him filleted up for some fried snook nuggets.
There's a beautiful 30 1/4 inch snook. So that's gonna close out my snook season. Let's fillet it now with the sword fillet knife. It's a carbon steel blade, holds an edge longer. I really like it. First cut goes up towards the head so you don't miss out on that head meat. Then turn the knife and start making a shallow cut down the back of the fish with the knife at a 45-degree angle so you're cutting up through the scales instead of down through them, dulling your blade and making kind of a more reckless cut. After that, you're gonna switch to the other direction and follow those bones down until you hit the spine. Once you hit the spine, get just the tip of that knife over the spine until you can reach through the other side of the fish. Now, I do that about halfway through the fish after we're past the ribs. Now, before we finish that side, I'm gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm gonna make that first cut up towards the head, angle the knife at a 45, go down the back of the fish until you get to the tail section, and then you're gonna make the cuts deeper and deeper, just like we did on the other side. Now, the way I'm filleting it here is a pretty cool way if you're doing a big party and you wanna have a really cool presentation. So I'm going over the ribs, over the spine, till I can get to that section where I can reach through like I did on the other side and poke through. Now, it's pretty cool the way this ends up. You'll see here in a minute. Just knocking some of the water off the table there. It's starting to pool up from when I rinsed the table and the fish off. I make the cut through the tail. Now, both fillets are almost done, but they're still connected with the belly meat. So I'm gonna cut the rest of that meat off the ribs, from the top of the ribs. And then when I get down to the belly, that's where it's gonna differ a little bit than your average fillet job. Going over it, and then when I get to the belly, I'm gonna stop. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. The other side's a little bit more tricky. If you flip the fish all the way over, it gets to be easier, but I was close enough, so I just left the fish sitting upright. And you can actually let it go and it will stay all up in one piece once you make that final cut. So right there now, both fillets are almost separated from the fish, just held on by a little bit of the belly. and the throat. And you actually can cut the throat out into this too, but I'm gonna leave the throat on the carcass. I have one person I give all my snook carcasses to, and they make all sorts of stuff out of them. A lot of meat left on that carcass still. So you can skin this just like this, but I'm gonna go ahead and separate the belly. That was what I was talking about being a cool way of showing it. If you skin it like that and have both those big fillets with the belly meat all intact, that's a pretty cool thing. You could throw it on the grill just like that. But I'm gonna cut the belly out, and you can get the belly out other ways, but this way lets you get the belly out in one piece. Instead of two halves, you keep it all together as a whole, and then you would skin it from there. And I would cut that membrane off the top too. I don't like that. Now we're left with a regular fillet. So from there, go ahead and skin it, and that's what I'm gonna make the snook member out of. Snook is a really firm, white, flaky meat, and the dead giveaway on a snook fillet is the black hair-like veins that run through it. It's only in a couple fish, but there you go. Beautiful snook fillet.